champion of the world, he also can crack it. It's Sugar.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red.
We've waited a long time for this. Here we go for round 1. Looks like a little bit of a strategy change here, loosening up the technique. Who's willing to go where the other fighter won't? How about that time counter shot? One of the hottest tickets around. It's standing room only for this, our main event.
You have some fighters that are big show, big arena fighters, and they bask in this, they love this, they are born for this. You have other fighters where this would be like the rabbit in the headlights.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. That left hook misses. Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Try to let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be honest. You've got to be honest. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
Every time they throw a shot, they get capped. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. And Sugar is in trouble. In that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, there's no doubt who won that. Here we go, round 2. Who's going to land the first big shot? They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here. Nice counter shot. There's a scoring blow. Hook punch scores. Scoring uppercut there. That counter punch caught him clean. Both of these fighters have the conditioning to go the distance, no problem. They also have the power to end this with one punch. And forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you. And so I got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. He got out of the way of that right hook. Shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. And he blocks the left uppercut. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to you as the fighter. And the cornerman's got to put a firecracker on that fight to get out there and get the job done.
Into the fight, you're much better than this guy. You're much better. He's great. Stay focused. Don't let him back into the fight. Great.
On to the third. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
How do they use this fighter's aggression against them?
Todd, look back in history. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran. The first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight, stand there toe-to-toe with him. The second fight, he thought, this guy's aggressive. He's nasty. He'll do everything to get the win. I've got to box him. I've got to frustrate him. I've got to humiliate him and show him how good a boxer I am. That's the only way you beat an aggressive fighter. Show your boxing skills. Step out the way. Don't fight fire with fire. Use flame over brawn.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Just avoids the left uppercut. Look at the hand speed and footwork between these two elite-level middleweights. Punch lands. What a punch. Nice counter shot. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. You know that bell was sweet music to his ears.
Needs a knockout.
Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
In the build-up to this fight, Johnny, this power puncher told us, listen, I don't care if it's round 1 or round 12, I've got enough power and confidence to end this in one shot.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Good counter punch. So he's going to taunt here. I don't know if that's the wisest strategy. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. You'd like to see more jabs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're dealing with someone with so much speed, you've got to get your timing right.
Look back in the history books, some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there, these guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. It hurts.
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Crawford in that. Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Good one. So much firepower here. It don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. Those counter punches have to hurt. A perfect counter lands. Nice counter. And he scores with the counter. Beautiful counter shot. A perfect counter shot. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's so hard to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think...
Here we go in the 6th round. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. They're both trying for a knockout. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is a heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at middleweight are ridiculous. That is what writes our history books.
Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
There's a counter shot. When are we going to see a jab from these two? A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Crawford in that last round. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the scorecards. Going to need a knockout.
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
Yes, I like that round. Good round. You feel good? Good man. Good man.
And he's going to be confident. You've got to take that confidence away. Go up.
Start sticking a few body shots in there. Bury it up a little bit so he can't win this round.
Here comes round 7. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? That counter shot lands. He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what?
And down goes Crawford. You could see it in their eyes. They saw that punch coming, and there was nothing they could do.
Where did... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You are right.
So they'll make it up, and this fight continues.
The corner need to think nice and sharp. They know their fight. They know what their fight is capable of doing and what their fight can and cannot take. This is going to be a tough decision to make.
So we enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. Let's talk about Crawford in that match. And there's the bell for round 8. Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff them.
Both men step back for just a moment. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
They both want a highlight reel knockout. This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to outthink him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket him.
This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. No surprise.
Fight on by the grill, I'm like I'm Joe. Always tryna fight on by the. Always tryna fight on by the grill, I'm like I'm George. I'm coming for that dough, soon as I walk, they making noise. I'm walking through my city, they like boom, by 3-0. Knock them out in 60 seconds, like I'm using cheat codes. I just want that money, like I'm money made. I might pop my jack, then uppercut, then he up on my way. With my belt, discount double check, undisputed champ. I'ma walk inside your gym and take over. I'm new to camp. I'm new to camp. Sitting ringside with my dog on what coach flick. Underdogs coming out on top. Got them so sick. 1, 2, 3, I think it's over. 4, 5, 6, he leaning over. 7, 8, they bout to ring the bell. 9, 10, pack them up like mail. It's over. 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 Undisputed. I'm undisputed.
Here we are, getting ready for this showdown between these two fighters. Should be a good one. I'm Todd Grisham, and watching this live with me is Johnny Nelson.
Todd, always a pleasure to work with you. Always a pleasure.
It's time for our tale of the tape. So here is young Tyson Fury. He stands 206 centimeters, weighed in. Here we have Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King he calls himself. A very brash and outspoken young athlete, but he's backed it up so far. A perfect 8-0 record, 7 knockouts. It's the Brown Bomber Joe Louis, one of the most historically important fighters of all time.
This is going to be one hell of a fight.
The fighters are in the ring. It's time for the official introductions. Here's the Hall of Famer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, introducing the big heavyweight, undefeated in his campaign, with a record of 8 wins, no losses, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. At just 20 years of age, here is the young, undefeated heavyweight hopeful, known as the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Fighting out of the blue corner, an iconic longtime world champion who defended his title for a record of 12 years, introducing a heavyweight champion of the world, the one and only Brown Bomber, Joe Louis.
Not too many seats to be had in this arena as the hype continues to build for this showdown.
You can hear everything. Can you imagine being a fighter walking into this? We're going to see that any minute now.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. And here we go. We waited a long time, and now we've got this fight. I'm going to try and relax a little bit now. Fight a little differently. Look at that right hand. Catch and shoot. You believe what we are seeing. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Counter fighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
Counter puncher's my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Halfway through the round and it's pretty much even Steven.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Straight right just misses. You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. Swing and a miss with that uppercut. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. And a round that seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
Every second.
Here we go, round 2. Who's going to land the first big shot? Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab. Rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
This counter-puncher is going to wait for you to move first and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter-punchers are the best.
And this is a you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. counter shot. The straight right just misses. A very competitive round here so far.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
It's obvious who the bigger, stronger fighter is. Let's see if they use it to their advantage.
You've got to use what you've got. I've got a long reach. I use it all the time. Use the speed. Frustrate and make them walk into a shot.
It's knockout or bust for both of these fighters. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Very competitive round with 10 seconds left. He is down big time on the scores.
Your mind back on the job.
Let's get it started in round 3. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Beautiful counter punch. Nice counter. And he scores with the counter. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Misses with the jab. They better start respecting each other's punching power. Halfway point, and both of these fighters know the round is still up for grabs.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
That counter punch caught him clean. He just gets out of the way of that right uppercut. Straight right just misses. You'd like to see more jabs. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Changes everything, especially in this division. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've just got to be smarter than them. You've got to be like a little faggot and pickpocketing.
I can't believe we're only halfway through the round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
They threw the hook, it didn't land. Nice counter shot. out, though. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this.
Come on, breathe.
And there's the bell for round 5. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Right when you think the pace will slow down, it picks up. One punch could end this fight for either of these two heavyweights.
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
A perfect counter lands. Beautiful counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. He blocks the jab. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
Now it's a tougher fight and he's going to be confident. You got to take that confidence away.
There's the bell for round 6. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
There's nothing quite like a big heavyweight fight. Everything can change with one punch.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
What heart, what desire, but at what cost? The stamina is off the charts. These two are the perfect dance partners.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Well done with that counter shot. How do they use this fighter's aggression against them?
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
And you can see here his face basically melts into his glove, and down he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me your glove.
Final 10 seconds here, and I think he knows who's won this round. Is there any way back into this?
Switching on.
There's the bell well to start round 7. Last round was a disaster. What can they do here to turn this around?
I have no idea what they have left. How do you come back from something like that? Knock down twice? Where's your head at? Where's your energy levels at? It tells you you've got nothing left.
Putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. What a knockout headshot. Let's watch it again. And they knew it when they threw it.
Shot from the... 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're out.
So time to go celebrate after a knockout win here.
Well, there's no argument right there.